Want to build a Mordheim Warband, but not sure where to start? I'm Luka from MiniWarGaming. I've been playing tabletop games for 25 years. Mordheim is one of my favorites, and in this video, I will give you my 5 simple steps on how to create a warband that is unique to you. I'm going to be using my own warband as an example to illustrate these 5 simple steps. I just finished playing a campaign with them. You can see them in action on the tabletop. What surprised me the most was the amount of comments that noted the inspiration behind my warband. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the 5 steps that'll help you take your Mordheim Warband from something on paper to something that truly feels like your own. And along the way, I'll share how I personally went through these steps when creating my warband, the Bridge Burners, inspired by the Malazan Book of the Fallen series by Steven Erikson. Let's get started. Here is a simple acronym to outline the 5 steps. Forge, F-O-R-G-E. You find your warband that suits your playstyle. You outline your vision and creed. That's the flavor. Then you want to refine their identities, their quirks, motivations, and backstories. Gather and convert models that capture your vision. And the final one is engaging in the game and embracing the chaos. You have to let the story unfold. Step 1, finding a warband that speaks to you. What kind of player are you? Mordheim has such a diverse lineup. There's a lot. There's over 20 warbands actually, and each warband comes with its own tone, playstyle, theme. But the real question is, what grabs you? Do you like the idea of having lots of cheap bodies that fling rocks from the shadows? Well, Skavener for you. How about having your leader being the deadliest element in the battlefields? Well, you want the undead warband led by the mythical vampire. Do you prefer flexibility, having access to an arsenal of weapons, and leaders that inspire bravery in the face of said mythical vampires? You sound like a human mercenary player to me, which is what I picked. If you're brand new to Mordheim, I strongly recommend doing what I did and choose human mercenaries. For me, I was drawn to something a little more grounded. In a setting full of monsters, chaos mutations, and necromantic horrors, I wanted to represent the kind of regular folk who are just trying to survive and make some gold while doing it. Human mercenaries, thrown into this nightmare, there's something wonderfully tragic about that, isn't there? A group of disciplined soldiers or desperate freelancers venturing into the cursed city for gold and glory, fully aware that most of them will not be coming back. That is what spoke to me, the idea of normal in an abnormal world. Once you found that spark, you're ready for step 2. Now that you've got your warband picked, it's time for the creative part, coming up with a concept. But before we do that, here's the basic framework of a warband. You have your leader, your champions, and your new recruits. Everyone in Mordheim shares the same experience bar. Leaders start with 20 experience ahead of the rest. They level up slower because of this. Champions, on the other hand, start with 8 experience. They've seen some action in the streets of Mordheim or elsewhere. But our new recruits start at 0, giving them the most potential for leveling up and growth in your warband. Now, the size of your warband will depend on the faction you've chosen. The Witch Hunters, as an example, are a very elite and specialized warband. They're limited to 12 models. On the flip side, the Skaven are very numerous and can field 20 models. Human mercenaries fit right in the middle at 15. Now that we understand the basic framework of a warband, it's time to outline the vision and creed. This step is all about taking the framework of your warband and adding your own personal flavor. You can draw from anywhere for inspiration. You got novels, movies, shows, other game systems entirely. In my case, I was deep into the Malazan Book of the Fallen series by Steven Erikson at the time. There is a group of specialists known as the Bridge Burners. Their cast of characters clicked with. They are a band of hardened veterans, pragmatic to a fault, and held together by a shared history of struggle and loss. I wanted a team that were under clandestine operations in the cursed city, feigning to be mercenaries. So when I looked at the Reichlander mercenary warband, I thought these could be my Bridge Burners. I was inspired. Now, the Reichlanders are known for their discipline and their skill with ranged weapons, specifically their marksmen, which perfectly fit the role of the Bridge Burners from the books. In the first episode of our campaign, Matthew had his sneaky little rat assassin skulk up to where all of my crossbows were positioned, and they were scoping out all of the avenues of approach of the enemies. And he found his way up into the same floor they were in, and without missing a beat, every single one of them turned, shot, took him down, and immediately went back to Overwatch. That's the kind of discipline I was looking for in my models. Ain't that the magic of Mordheim? The rules do not limit your imagination. Once you've got your concept down, the next step is fleshing out the personalities and ambitions of your individual characters. Now, this isn't just a for fun step. Mordheim thrives on narrative, and having personalities and motivations for your heroes and henchmen will naturally influence how you play. This is very important. You have to ask yourself, what drives them into Mordheim? Are they doing it for the gold? Well, a lot of them are, absolutely. Perhaps it's revenge, maybe redemption, faith, or it could just be a simple madness that has overcome all of them. How do they treat one another? Is there loyalty in your warband? Or is everyone just waiting for someone else to fall so they can grab their gear and move along? In my case, the bridge burners are hardened, cynical veterans. They don't care for honor or heroics, that's nonsense. Only survival and doing the job right. And if they make an extra gold or two on the side, well, that doesn't hurt anyone too much. They have a deep distrust of officers, really any figures of authority who haven't proven themselves in the field. And that mindset influenced how I approached the game. I tended to make more pragmatic, somewhat tame choices, you might say, prioritizing survival, cover, and positioning over flashy heroics. My leader, for instance, who is a grizzled veteran, who'd seen too much and many of his friends die, he himself expecting to die in every possible mission, knew not to stick his head out. Now remember, Mordheim isn't about perfection, it is about the personality. Every injury you sustain, every bold move you take, every lucky dice roll, it all tells a story. And now that we've refined our backstory, where do we get the models? This is the most exciting and sometimes frustrating part of building your warband, finding the right models and bits. You got two options as I see it. You got the new or original. If you want new models, look no further than Age of Sigmar. In our campaign, Skari had a specific concept for his undead warband. Typically, the vampire would have dregs of society do his bidding. Normally, these dregs are humans. But Skari wanted spirits that did the vampire's bidding instead, which was better represented by using new models from the Soulblight Gravelords as well as the Nighthaunt line. If you're looking for the original Mordheim models, good luck! They're absolutely gorgeous, but they are out of production. However, if you're building a human mercenary warband like I did, you can start with the free company militia kit from the old world. Fun fact! That was actually the original kit used for the human mercenaries in Mordheim to begin with. It's still sold today, and it is incredibly modular. It has bits for every weapon you'd come across. New or old, you check out Wayland Games. They carry a huge variety of brands and kits. You might just stumble across that perfect model that makes the entire warband click. Now that we know where to get our models, it's time to engage in the chaos of the Cursed City. Engage in the game, also known as emotional detachment when it comes to Mordheim. Let me paint you a picture. Matthew, heavily invested in his Blackskaven, the champions of his warband. They have everything they need to succeed. Speed, strength, mobility, evasion. Matthew spent 5 turns with this elaborate plan where his Blackskaven was going to jump from rooftop to rooftop to rooftop to engage Steve's Witch Hunter warband. What you got there?
Allow me to reenact.
Bang!
Mordheim.
First combat, failed his rolls, bonked on the head by a mace, taken out of action. All of that buildup for one bad die roll to then lose your very expensive piece out of the game, not to be played with again. That's Mordheim. It is absolutely a game that punishes attachment, but rewards storytelling. So when you play, you gotta lean into it. You play your warband the way they would act. If your group is made up of disciplined mercenaries, well, make tactical choices, stick to your formations, and don't take any unnecessary risks. If your group is a zealous cult, well heck, throw caution to the wind and charge into battle screaming your devotion to the dark gods. Get invested in their fates, but don't get too attached because Mordheim will absolutely break your heart, and that's part of what makes it so good. When my bridge burners entered our latest campaign, our first mission into the Cursed City involved 3 other warbands, And unlike Matthew's plan of engaging everybody at once, I wanted to try to figure out whether there were any potential allies amongst them, human thoughts. Or if there was every man for himself. It was a tense 4-player free-for-all, and the results, well, let's just say they didn't all make it out intact. If you want to see how that played out, you can check out our newest Mordheim campaign linked below. Trust me, you'll want to see the chaos unfold. Thank you everyone for watching, and as always, happy wargaming.